Greetings, Masala followers. Today I am at an industrial estate in Leicestershire, where there is a real jewel of people and a magazine which comes out called HPD. This is a magazine which, when I first saw it, I couldn't put down, and I was so impressed by the design, the content, the words and everything, that I wanted to find out who is behind this. What inspired this group of people to start this magazine? And of course, when I went under the surface, I realized that majority of the people were young Indo-Brits, people born in this country but with an Indian culture. And yet the content of the magazine is aimed at a global audience. You know, it's not just Indian, it's not just British, and the ideas are so open-minded and so plural, and there is an absolute desire to seek out the best of wisdom and ideas from anywhere in the world and present it to students here in Britain. So I was impressed by the thinking that went behind this magazine, by the production of the magazine, the display and design, and the vision that underlies it. So I'm really happy to be here. And with me are today Sachin, Nandha, Zima and Bhavisha, all involved in producing this magazine. So tell us, Bhavisha, what do you do for this magazine?
So I predominantly look after the design team to make sure that the end product that you see in front of you here actually reaches you, and it reaches you in the best quality. So essentially, initially we started off with the magazine being print, and now we're taking the magazine to the forefront of technology. So it will be online, and we're hoping to develop a mobile application. So those two developments are where I'm trying to lead the magazine forward, and Zima will look after readership and distribution, but combined with the quality of the magazine and the online element, I will support Zima in taking the magazine forward to in excess of 200,000 graduates and students each edition.
But Bhavisha, I mean, this magazine, did you work in a media office before you came here?
I've had no media experience prior to the magazine. This is just something that we're all passionate about. We have an end vision, and with working with top professionals, we can make that vision a reality.
So you don't have any media experience, and you're producing something of this quality, and you don't look 50 years old. That's quite remarkable, actually. That's tremendous. What about you, Zima?
Well, my key role in HPD is looking after the sales, the distribution, and the marketing of the magazine. And it's a big chunk of the magazine, and I regularly liaise with our advertisers to communicate the value of HPD. And what I find is that a lot of the companies that we work with, yes, there's an interest in them of meeting their targets of exposing their brand to lots of students, but I also find that over the period of development magazine, the advertisers are connecting with the ethos behind the magazine. They are connecting with the type of advertorials we're having, the type of articles we're having. We're not promoting how to write a CV. We're promoting underlining values of what students should be experiencing in the world. Articles like vegetarianism, articles about Tibet, so real issues, and making their minds really critical. So our advertisers are really connecting with that concept, and I think that is one of our unique selling points as well about our magazine.
So you are actually, to me, in my mind, you are pioneering leaders, but at the same time, what you're doing through the magazine is spreading leadership across the campuses.
Yes,
and encouraging students to take leadership, to have vision, to have values. And actually, it's quite interesting to hear what you say, that over time, even your advertisers are now beginning to understand the values that you are promoting and to respect the values.
Yeah.
That is something, one wouldn't easily find in an industrial estate in Leicester, or wouldn't even think that it would happen in a place like this. Sachin, what gave you this idea?
Well, I think from my perspective, it's purely from the value of the magazine ads. It came about purely because I wanted to communicate to tomorrow's leaders. We are to face challenges that, frankly, we have never faced before, and we're educated traditionally in a very linear way. We're not designed to think creatively or from multiple paradigms. So what this magazine was designed to do was to produce articles, topics, subjects that would stimulate young people to start thinking deeper, further, starting to have foresight, but also going back into history to grasp some of the gems of wisdom that there are there, and sort of amalgamate it in a modern 21st century context, in a language that an 18-year-old to a 30-year-old can understand. Somebody who works, who's ambitious, somebody who's aspirational, somebody who wants leadership, who wants the responsibility, but can we tap into them at a much younger age where their ideas are still being forged. And so HPD helps in that debate, in that concoction of ideas that young people go through, especially at university.
So effectively what you are telling me is that in this case you had a mission and a purpose first and a business second.
Absolutely.
So you actually had a mission to try and change thinking, change ideas, change people's behavior even, but that was your mission and the business was the secondary aspect of it.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess, we always have to pay the bills. We always have to pay our writers and things. So there was a business element to it which came much later on down the line. Yeah. But that's fine. I'm a big believer that the best ideas are those where business is important, but it's secondary to what your core value is.
I mean, the reality of the media industry in this country generally is that it is not very diverse. It is very dominated by monocultural people and monocultural thinking. And the pockets of media that are not diverse tend to be ghetto medias, like Asian Voice or Gujarat Samachar, or media which is targeted at a niche community and which is kept within that ghetto. But what I find interesting about you is that you have broken many barriers with this one product.
That's right. One of the things was that we wanted to make it global. We wanted to make it beyond borders. We wanted to have somebody who is a foreign student from Nigeria connect with the magazine the same way that a homeborn British student would connect, or somebody who is an Indo-Brit. The idea was meant to be so that it taps in to all mindsets and all cultures, and that's what we were trying to do.
So amongst these young people, what we see is what I call the huge new wave of Indo-Brit leadership which is coming within this generation. Something which the country has not at all woken up to, does not realize the potential and the energy that lies within this generation. And actually, if anything, I feel in many cases the country is acting as a barrier to their progress, and actually what it needs to do is to step aside, to make way for them and to facilitate their huge creative and innovative capabilities and give them a platform. And when they get this platform, now hear this is the critical part, when they do get this platform and this support, they will enrich not just themselves but all of us, because the kind of values this generation bring to the table are very pluralist values. They are values which are very inclusive and the mindset which is global. So everyone will be a winner. So don't feel threatened by this generation. Understand them, recognize the huge talent that they have, and step aside and make way if you can't support them. Thank you.